Hi everyone, it's Coach Fred here, and today I'm going to be going over how we can use matrices to solve systems of equations with a calculator. But first, we kind of really have to know what a matrix is. A matrix, or a matrices in plural form, is a rectangular array of numbers, okay? We call it a rectangular array, and if you're in computer science, you might be already familiar with these matrices or a matrix. And they're organized in rows and columns. And that's how they're described. We describe a matrix based on the number of rows in the columns, and we give it dimensions. So for example, here you can see down here we have matrix A, and it represents 3 teams that participated in a debating competition. The final score for each team is based on how many students ranked first, second, and third in a debate. The results of 12 debates are shown at the right. So you can see we have 3 teams and we have 3 places, and so we can see the number that are occurring in each one. So these are the rows. So this would be row 1, row 2, and row 3, and then column 1, column 2, and column 3. So we would say this is a 3 by 3 matrix. Now again, it's always rows by columns. All right, so it said that teams could earn 6 points for first place, 5 points for second place, and 4 points for third place. Now, so it says to organize it into another matrix. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a 3 by 1 matrix. Now, I certainly could make a 1 by 3, but I'm going to make 3 columns, and I'm going to do first place, second place, and third place, okay? And then I'm going to make this points. And so first place would be 6 points, second place would be 5 points, and third place would be 4 points. Now, there is a reason that I made it a 3 by 1 and not a 1 by 3, and we're going to get to that in just a few minutes. Okay. All right, so a couple things you need to know. Now, we are going to be doing this all by calculator. You are going to learn to do it by hand, and I've supported you with a couple videos to do it by hand, but I'm only going to be asking you to do this with a calculator because this is a bit of a supplement we just don't have time for in our curriculum. All right, so a couple things you need to know. You can only add and subtract matrices if the dimensions are the same. So if you have a 3 by 3, you can add it to a 3 by 3. You can't add a 2 by 3. You can't add them if you wanted to add it to like a 1 by 4. Okay, so you wouldn't be able to do that. That wouldn't be defined under addition or subtraction. Some terminology: multiplying by a scalar. If I put a number on the outside of a matrix, here I'll do a 2 by 2 matrix here. That number, we call it a scalar, and when we multiply it to a matrix, we call that scalar multiplication. And so you would multiply that to just every spot in the matrix. So I would get 2, 4, 0, and negative 6. And the same thing would be true if I had a 2 by 2 matrix plus a 2 by 2 matrix, or subtraction. If I gave you, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, it really is just as easy as adding the rows and the columns. So 1 plus 5 would give me 6, 2 plus 6 would give me 8, 3 plus 7 would give me 10, and 4 plus 8 would give me 12, which is why it has to be the same dimensions. Now, matrix multiplication is a little bit interesting. A couple things have to be true. So first of all, if you have 2 matrices and you want to multiply them, so like I say matrix A times matrix B, okay? First of all, you need to know that the property of multiplication is not commutative. So A times B does not equal matrix B times matrix A, okay? So that's important. All right, but if you have the rows by columns and the rows by columns, the columns of the first have to be equal to the rows of the second. So the columns have to equal the rows in order to multiply. If that is not true, it is not defined under multiplication. So the columns of the first must be equal to the rows of the second in order to multiply. Once you've done multiplication, then the new dimensions will be the rows of the first times the columns of the second. So that would be the new dimensions. Okay, so here we've got the dimensions of the new matrix. Okay. All right. So state whether or not the product is defined. Okay. So you have a 2 by 3 and a 3 by 4. So the rows, the columns of the first does equal the rows of the second. So it is defined under multiplication. And my new dimensions would be a 2 by 4. All right. This one, the columns of the first do not equal the rows of the second. So it's not defined. Okay. So how do you do multiplication by hand? I'm going to just do this very quickly so you can see. So I'm going to make a 1, 2, 0, -1 times, how about 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then I'm going to multiply them. So watch what happens. Okay. So I'm going to actually make this, I'm going to highlight, and I'm going to do, I've got a spot here. I've got a spot here, I've got a spot here, and I've got a spot here that I've got to fill, okay? So we're going to start with yellow. So for yellow, what you have to do is okay, so this is, we have a column, we have a row and a column. So for the yellow, we're going to do 1 times 3 plus 2 times 5. Okay, so 1 times 3, 2 times 5. That's going to give me 3 plus 10, which is 13. Okay? All right. Then I'm going to move on to green. Oh, actually, let's do blue. Let's go down. All right. So if I move this row, let me get this guy. I'm going to delete that. So now I'm going to move down to this guy right here and here. That's going to give me the blue. All right, so that's going to be 0 times 3 plus -1 times 5, which is 0 minus 5, so -5. Okay? All right, now I move on to the green. So let me get my green highlighter. I'll do the green up here. I'll do the green up here. So again, green would be this row, this column. Okay, and so I'm going to do 1 times 4 plus 2 times 6. That's going to be 4 plus 12, which is 16. And then the last one is going to be the purple. So I'll do the purple right here and my pen. So that's going to be here times here. So that's going to be 0 times 4 plus -1 times 6, which is going to be 0 minus 6, so -6. And that's actually how you multiply them, right? So row to column, and you just keep working your way down. Again, I told you are going to learn this in pre-calculus, but for now, I'm going to teach you how to do it with your calculator. So on the next page, you can see we have 3 matrices. We have a 3 by 3, another 3 by 3, and a 2 by 3. Again, rows by columns. So if you grab your calculator, okay, I'm going to open mine right here. Okay, so this is what you have to do for your calculator. So you're going to make sure that you're on a clear screen. You're going to press the second button. And in the left column, if you go to, you can see x to the -1. That actually just means inverse. You can see right above it, it says matrix. So you're going to press second x, so second matrix. And then you're going to arrow over to edit. You want to enter A, so you're going to enter on number 1, and it's now going to ask you for your dimensions. So you can see matrix A, we want a 3 by 3. It'll quickly give you the columns and the rows, and you're going to put in your numbers. So -1, 5, 6, 2, -7, -2, 4, 4, and 2. All right, so I always want to double check that I entered them right. Okay, so now we want to enter B. So we're going to do that same thing. So go ahead and try it. We're going to do second matrix. We're going to arrow over to edit, arrow down to B. Again, we're going to enter our dimensions, 3, enter 3. And it gives me my 3 by 3 matrix. And so I'm going to put in 2, 3, 1, -1, 1, 4, and then 5, -2, and 3. All right, so we've got our 2 matrix in. We have one more to go. Okay, so let me see if I can do this. Here, let me move it down a little bit. There we go. So second matrix, I'm going to arrow over to edit. I'm going to arrow down to C this time. Press enter. And I'm going to do a 2 by 3 matrix. 2 by 3. And that's going to give me 8, 10, -9, -6, 12, and 14. Okay, so I'll verify. And I've got all my matrices in there. So now if I want to just do A plus B, so I want to do the operation, I want to do the add, all I do is I want to get out of this. You don't want to do it in the matrix edit screen. You want to do it in a clear screen. I'm going to do second matrix, and now I just pick A. So on the name screen, I pick A. It gives me A. I'm going to add, and then I'm going to go second matrix, pick B. And then I'll press enter, and you can see it gives me my 187, 1, -62, 925. Hopefully I entered those all right, and we're all getting the same thing. If I want to do A minus B, I do the exact same thing. Okay, so let's do it. So second matrix, A minus second matrix, B, subtract them, and I should get, again, a 3 by 3 matrix. Number 3, I've got scalar multiplication. So I have to multiply -2, -2, second matrix A, and it'll give me my multiplier, okay? All right, now let's try C times A. So I want to see if it's defined under multiplication. So C is a 2 by 3, A is a 3 by 3. They do indeed allow me to multiply. My new dimensions are going to give me 2 by 3. So let's see if that works. Oops, lost my calculator. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to clear this out so we can see it. So I'm going to do second matrix C. So I have to start in the same order because it's not commutative, times second matrix A. And there is my 2 by 3 matrix. Okay, so for now, you guys are going to want to be able to add, subtract, put it into your calculator, and multiply your matrices. And then we're going to use inverses in the next lesson for you to solve a system of equations. All right, hopefully that was helpful. There's a ton of practice that you can do on this page. For now, you're going to avoid the determinant and the inverse. We're not going to learn that quite yet. All right, have a great day.